This concept was not listed on your literary terms pre-assessment. However, it appears on an OAA practice item. Whenever a concept that you're unfamiliar with appears on an OAA practice item, I'd like to do a little mini lecture on what that concept means. And then I'd like you to write that in your notes in the relevant spot. Right now, you're putting it in the other section of literature. The concept is connotation. Here's your definition. Feelings or ideas associated with a word or phrase. Words can be positive or negative. Words can make you feel good or bad. Their ability to make you feel good or bad, to stimulate an emotion, to give you a positive or negative reaction, that's connotation. Let me give you an example. Which of the two sentences on the board is harsher? Mark. That is harsher than I lied to her? Okay, I'll read them. I misled her. I lied to her. I think I might actually disagree with you on that one, Mark. Who else disagrees with me on, or disagrees with Mark? Whoa, geez, that's harsh right there. So Haley, you agree with me that misled is less than lied? Less harsh than lied? Why? No. Let me pause you for a moment in that, Haley. Somebody tell me what mislead means.
To have the person, like, have them thinking something
False, right?
yeah.
To tell somebody something that's false, or to make them believe something that's false, isn't that correct? There you go. Right? Does that seem to work, Kamira, as a definition of mislead? Bryce, what's the definition of lie?
To withhold the truth.
Is that basically the same definition as what I have up there for mislead? Connotation is one level of meaning. Denotation is another level of meaning. Words, phrases often have multiple levels of meaning. We communicate in very complex ways. The denotation is very simply what the word or phrase means, literally. And Bryce has just found that misled and lied have the same denotation. They basically mean the same thing. So why would you choose one over another? Myra?
Because they're two different words.
They are different words, but what else do they have differently? We've said they're the same denotation, but what's different? Why would you choose one in one situation and one in another? One is more negative. There you go. You got it. They have the same denotations, the same meaning, but they have different connotations. We personally react with different feelings to those different phrases or words. Words have emotion to them. They have a charge. They are positive or negative. These words have very closely linked denotations. They're not exactly the same, but they're very close. One of them would be negative, the other would be positive. Matthew, which of those two words, exciting or hectic, would you see to be positive?
Exciting.
Very good. Hectic is negative. I could describe New York as exciting, or I could describe it as hectic. Depends upon my personal feelings toward it. And I pick one over the other based on that. Now let's apply this to the story. Oh, Kamara, you have a question? It does. Hectic means busy, but exciting can mean busy and there's a lot of activity going on, right? So on the denotative level, they can mean something very similar. That's what I'm saying. On denotation, they're very similar. And you could like just trade them out, right? But in terms of connotation, the emotion, they're very different. One is positive and the other is negative. Does that make sense? Cool. Paul?
So like, for the connotation, like you put in a sentence like I'm really excited for the party, you wouldn't like, because like you see that there's a difference from I'm really hectic about it.
Oh, true. That's not the place where you would use exciting versus hectic. That's right. And remember, excited is a different word from exciting. But I'm using these words because I want to go back to the story. Sarah, would you read the paragraph with the beehive in it again, please?
Look around you, replied Sweetheart. It's dark and dreary out here. There's nothing to do. You must come visit me. The city is a humming beehive of activity. There's always something exciting.
The humming beehive of activity, it's obviously a metaphor, right? Is it a positive metaphor for town mouse or a negative metaphor? Let's go back to the question. Sarah's saying that this metaphor of the beehive is a positive one. You have selected C as your answer. Is crazy and frantic positive or negative? Do you see why you're wrong now? Okay, because you didn't understand the term connotation. Now you understand the term connotation. He means something positive. So, what connotation did town mouse intend for the word beehive in paragraph 4? Sarah, would you like to revise your answer? Pleasingly busy place. Pleasingly busy place is a positive or happy connotation, and that's what he means by beehive. C is negative, D is negative, and A is obviously incorrect because it's a metaphor, not literal. Any last questions on connotation, denotation? We'll revisit that, I'm sure, because I've seen questions like this come up in other OAA sample items. Mark?
Wouldn't that mean that is denotation? It means like the literal.
Yeah. But we're also folding into that the idea of metaphor, Mark, so it gets a little bit complicated. But you understand that he doesn't mean literally that the town is a home for bees. So you just run right past A.